Hello, I'm Yvonne from Growing Old Disgracefully.
I'm Marie from Midlife Dramas in Pyjamas. You can find us both on Facebook.
And now we've come together to bring you inspirational stories from midlife and beyond in our podcast,
Hear Me Roar! Hello! Here we are again. What's the matter?
And my hair this time.
Well, it makes a change from being my hair.
I know.
What's wrong with your hair?
Oh, I don't know what I did. I think I don't know, dried it in the dark or something this morning. It just looks awful. It looks like somebody popped a bowl over my head and cut it. I had it cut the other day and she did a good job. Then
And now you've ruined it.
well, you know what it's like. It comes to drying it yourself.
It looks not like
Yeah.
it did when the hairdresser did it.
I know.
No, just have to go and wet it again.
I know. Well, I did that already, but I'm just ignoring it. Just ignoring it.
You're hoping it might go away.
I know. We're sat here today. We're like a couple of nanas, which is probably derogatory to nanas, but
Quite lively.
my central heating's not working and it's absolutely freezing.
So we're sitting here, for those of
Under
you
a
that are
blanket.
looking, under a heated blanket.
We are, which is really quite comforting.
It is very
Yeah,
comforting.
yeah.
Yes, it's like
Yeah.
sitting under one massive merkin.
Good one. Bit less smelly.
And curly.
Yeah. Pick it out your teeth. God.
Dear, oh, we're so mature.
I know. But you know what? You're just
What?
allowed to be yourself, aren't you? We're
Ah,
midlife women.
midlife women
Yeah.
are coming into their own and
Yeah.
allowed to be themselves. I'm getting you a
Yes.
piece of paper because it's got the extra bit on.
All right. Okay. Thank you. Yeah. So today we are going to be talking to a woman who is empowering women.
Absolutely.
And she's called Charlotte Body. She is the founder of Pause Live.
Yes.
Let me tell you a bit about her. So, as the visionary behind MBody Media, bespoke outsourcing service that matches the needs of practitioners with relevant experts, Charlotte is an entrepreneur with significant experience in medical aesthetics. We'll have to ask her about
Yeah.
that. She's launched and sold a number of successful businesses, including Cosmetic News, now Aesthetics Journal, ACE, and the Aesthetics Awards. She, as I said, she's the founder of Pause Live. She's also the creator of Menopause in Practice, which is a program supporting health professionals and offering them some
Mhm.
training on menopause.
Yeah.
So that's Charlotte. Let's go and talk
Let's
to
go
her.
meet her.
Yes. Hello.
Hi, Charlotte.
Hello, it's so good to see you.
And you.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, not
Now, I
at
just
all.
noticed that I'm wearing my 1974 t-shirt. Okay, because I've just had a hot flush, so I had to take my jumper off.
Is that the band 1974? Are they a pop
God,
band?
I'm not that cool. I think they're called
1975's the pop
Oh,
band.
is it?
Yeah, you're not cool either.
I'm not cool either then.
Well, I'm
no.
definitely not cool. This is the year I was born, actually. So
Oh, right,
Oh.
okay.
Oh, she's a mere Ben.
I know. Babe.
Prickling.
Oh, dear. Right then, Charlotte Body, entrepreneur. You
Yeah.
have your own company now, but what started you off on that path? What was your career before you launched into this?
Okay, so my career was very much from a senior school. I set up my first business in my locker.
Wow.
selling sweets. So I'm dyslexic and I own that. And I did used to at school like sort of hide behind that. So I was always like the clown and always, you know, trying to make money here, there, and everywhere. I pretty much would get the sweets from the cash and carry because my dad used to own his own business. And my dad's an entrepreneur, so I suppose he's
in the
got
blood.
4 daughters. Yeah, it's in the blood. And I suppose the sales side of it, I've always really enjoyed. So yeah, that's how it came about. I've always wanted to work for myself, and you know, I think you can running a family and running a business. It can be really challenging as well. So
Yeah,
it can juggling a lot of balls, aren't we, ladies? With all
we are.
Definitely are.
So you started off selling stuff, and then where did you go from there? You know, once you left school, what were you doing?
I was very lucky actually. I went into hairdressing, which was
Yeah.
quite funny because I was a really shit hairdresser. But I was obviously very good at the sales side of things.
Right.
And then one of my friend's dads said, you should come into my office in London. I think you'd do really well at it. So I used to sell advertising space for a baby magazine, which I think gave me a really good start because they were proper old school salespeople. So I think I had really good training. And I think that's what probably set me up for it. And then going from there, I moved to London, got a really good job with a fashion magazine. And the guy that owned the company, who was a multimillionaire, he called me in one day and he said to me, "You're dyslexic, aren't you?" And I said, How do you know?" And he said, "Because I'm dyslexic." So we had this really big chat. And he said, "Do not hide behind it anymore. Look what I've done." And he gave me this really good sort of pep talk. And I think from there, I very much had it in mind that I wanted to run my own business. And I went to another company, another big publishing company, and I was like sales manager for the whole division. And I got pregnant with my first daughter, who's now 24. And I was so good at my job, and I got made redundant pretty much after that.
Oh,
And in this day and age, you wouldn't be able to do it. But anyway, the magazine that I was working for, the main one, after a few weeks of me not being there, they had to close it. So that was really good. So I decided to set it up myself, and did it. Yeah, so I did it. Amy was tiny. I literally had all the family around packing magazines away and doing everything. Yeah, the rest is history, I suppose. I then had about 5 or 6 people working for me, and then it grew, and then I sold my media company about 12 years ago, and thought I would just obviously I didn't retire because I think if you've got that in your blood, but I did spend more time with the children. I think I had like a lot of guilt, being a working mum. I wanted to spend more time with my children, and I got to do that, which I think is a good thing. So you can't have it all. I don't care what anyone says. You really can't have it all. I think we all struggle with guilt, whatever we do as parents, don't we?
I think more so as women as well, because we're constantly told we can have it all. We can be 100% parents, and we can be 100% at work, and you can't, can you?
No, you can't.
It's just not viable.
And I felt, and also, I thought you don't get that time back, do you? And I think it was the right time to sell it anyway. But I'd had enough. The more staff I got, the more I struggled as well. And I think I was the only person that did have children in my own business, so that was difficult as well. Because it's not like you've got other women that you can say, oh, you know how difficult it is. I felt quite alone, and I think it was just a little bit too much for me. So obviously now running my business is very different. I sort of started it as an agency where we would sort of outsource to people. So the idea was that I would have no staff in-house, and now I've got lots and lots of staff. Not that my staff are going to listen to this and go, "What do you mean?" That I've got a great team. I've got an absolutely great team, but I'm not juggling it with school runs, PTA meetings and and forgetting things. So yeah, exactly. I would personally recommend to anyone, to try and work for yourself, because it's so fantastic what you can achieve.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I came out of school with 1 GCSE, and that wasn't because I was stupid. It was because my dyslexia wasn't picked up on.
Recognised.
Yeah, it just wasn't back then. And I've never, really sort of talked much about it, because the roles that I've had, the companies would only take on graduates. So I was very lucky. Now, for somebody who only had 1 GCSE, they would really struggle to get the experience that I got.
Yeah.
And I think young people, we have a lot of apprentices here that we train up. They do really well. They're with us for a couple of years and then they go off. And I love that. And over the years, I've seen so many of them and that have got fantastic jobs now and brilliant careers.
So you were in medical aesthetics.
You're going to ask me, what's medical aesthetics?
Yeah, we are, because I don't know.
Okay. So I think the easiest way to explain it is you've got people that do Botox, fillers, all of those sorts of things. And the market that I work in is aesthetic medicine. And that's rather different to people doing injections in Chinese takeaways and sunbed shops or whether it might be. And I think aesthetics has got a really bad reputation, and it shouldn't have, because you've got some fantastic doctors, nurses, clinics that really do make a huge difference to people's lives. And I think I've been in the aesthetic industry for 20 years, which is quite a long time considering that Botox is only 40 years old. And what I've seen is a sort of a real change. There used to be this time when everyone had these, really like Botoxed faces. In fact, one of the first do's I went to was at Madame Tussauds, and I remember looking around and thinking, is that a waxwork or is it a person? It was quite frightening. And I feel like the looks changed a lot now. So it's more about regenerative medicine. And obviously there's lots of things that you can do to treat skin complaints, skin conditions like rosacea, some acne, all of those sort of things. These are specialists that can really make a difference. So it's not all about the aesthetic Botox and fillers. I mean, with regards to menopause symptoms, they're really well placed to help menopausal women with some of the symptoms that come with that, which can be really tricky to treat. And I think that's what excites me about that industry. You know, it is very much about making people look good, but it's also about how you feel. And I think, if you had a huge mole on your face and it was affecting how you feel, an aesthetic doctor can remove that for you quite easily. So I'm just using that as an example because it is how we feel inside. The majority of people just want to look a bit younger, feel a bit better, but it's not really about looking younger. I suppose it's looking the best that you can for your age, isn't it? I mean, you women look fantastic, and I think we all use a little face cream here and a little nip and tuck there, but to me, that's absolutely fine. I think we should all be able to do what we want to do to make ourselves feel better. And I think sometimes it can be much more on the inside.
So talking of the menopause, which you just touched on there, you've created Menopause in Practice, which is a program supporting healthcare professionals. Can you tell us what that's all about and why you created it?
Yes. So as I mentioned, I used to run a media company, and we had the Aesthetic magazine, the Aesthetic show, the Aesthetic awards, and I sold that. So when I came back into business, I had I just started my new business and I went straight into perimenopause. Now, I literally thought, what the hell is this? I felt like I'd been hit with a sledgehammer. And I was like, what? I aged, I think. You age 9 years in 6 months when you go through perimenopause. The doctors told me that. And I was like, I am actually, I can tell, because my skin did, my hair started falling out, my moods, I had all these really core symptoms that are perimenopause, but I was also in denial, which I think a lot of women are. They don't really know. It usually takes a couple of other people to say, I think you need to go to the doctors, and I'd lost all confidence of going outside, and I didn't want to go out and, socialise. I was just really grouchy. Even my girls and my partner noticed just how irritable I was. So I thought, well, this can't possibly go on. Went to the GPs a few times, and I think I went 5 times. They said about putting me on antidepressants, and I knew that wasn't right. So I started doing a bit of research. And then I realised that actually the aesthetic medicine clinics that I know, 2,000 of them in the UK that are really, really good, would be perfectly placed to help with the symptoms. And a lot of them were still doing that. They were helping. So I spoke to my aesthetic practitioner, and she said, Charlotte, you're not yourself. You need to go to, you need to get something. Now, I did go private in the end. I got blood tests done by MediChecks, which I think was about £80. So it wasn't a ridiculous amount of money. But then I had these blood tests to go back into the doctors and say, look, I want to go on HRT. Now, I know HRT is not for everyone, but I had such an awful time with it. This 6 months of going to the GP, feeling like this, trying to run a business, trying to juggle all these balls and feeling like the worst. I mean, literally, I was having the best life in my 45, and then 46 hits. I'm not saying, because there is no, who's ever listening, there is no time on menopause. Perimenopause can happen anytime, can't it?
Yeah.
So once I got myself sorted, I thought, right, I'm going to set up Menopause in Practice so that we can educate, train the doctors that we know, so that they can offer the services, which we've been doing for the last four years. And it's a great success. We have lots of wonderful clinics that have set up menopause clinics. They might not offer all of the solutions, but what they do is they listen, because a lot of their target audience are going through perimenopause. They're in their 40s, 50s, whatever it might be, and they can recognise the symptoms and just signpost them to the right places. So sometimes they might not even have the treatments, but what they will have is a friendly ear, and they'll be well placed to say, I think that this is what you're going through. So that was why we set Menopause in Practice up. And then stupidly, I said, I'm going to do a consumer event. My whole team were like, please, let's not do consumer. We do B2B. We're good at B2B. We get the doctors and nurses in, we train them, and we know what we're doing. But the passion overtook everything. And I think that was the thing with Paul's Live. It still does. It's a non-profit. It doesn't make me a penny. Costs me money to put it on. But probably should go back to what Paul's Live is all about then.
Yes, I was just going to say, we're going to have to stop you there. You're going to have to explain what Pause Live is, because that's where we met you originally, at Pause Live.
Yes. Yeah. And thank you, ladies, for supporting Pause Live. So Pause Live, as I say, is a passion project. It'll be in its 4th year next year. And we absolutely love putting it on because it's an event which is in London, sadly in London, because I'd love to do it all across the country if we could. And we have the best doctors there to talk about symptoms from head to toe, but we also have a lot of fun there. I'm sure you will agree. The Hear Me Raw ladies were fantastic on stage. And if anyone wants to watch it, it's on our YouTube channel.
We've not seen it. We'll have a look.
Haven't you? Yeah. Oh, we should have let you know that, shouldn't we? There you go. But we had some great guests, didn't we? And the atmosphere was just phenomenal. I think the thing is, there's lots to do there, and it's a really difficult time. If someone had said to me that 6 months when I was going through hell, do you want to go to a menopause event? I would have told them where to go. But once people come, I had so many women message afterwards and say, I had the best day out. I felt like I went on my own. I felt supported. Comments that we were getting. I didn't realise how many other women were going through it. I didn't realise that, there was a solution to my, and that's what I'm all about, really. I'm all about making sure that we get in front of people so that we can give them the solutions to their symptoms. Now, I've had every symptom. I get new ones on a daily basis. And the reason I get them, I'm sure, is so that I can sort of biohack them and work out, what we can do to help support, those symptoms moving forward. Dry eyes is a new one for me, so that's that's fun times. But as I say, there's about 70 odd symptoms, and I think I've probably had 66 of them. So there you go.
Wow.
See, dry eyes has always been a weird one to me, because your eyes are dry, but they just pour liquid all the time.
Yeah.
I hate it. Do you know what? It was one of the menopause symptoms that I hated most at work, because I could be talking to somebody, and if I open my eyes too wide, if you're being sympathetic, you're like, oh gosh, and all the rest of it, my eyes would just start to tear up, and I'd be sitting there crying. They probably thought I was an absolute wanker, but and then you can't just go, oh, I'm sorry all about your dad's heart attack. It's my menopause.
Yes, the emotions change completely, don't they? And I think that's the thing. I think with Paul's Live, we have a lot of, you probably don't get a chance to experience, just like I don't. I'd love to go just as a visitor, but we've got an experience hub, where you can try new things. And I think that's really important as well, because you do change. I've changed, a lot since I've come out the other end. You change, you don't have people that you don't particularly want to spend time with, they're gone. Yeah, you have a good sort out. I think you also just, the tolerance levels change. You're just not interested. You haven't got the
No.
headspace for it. You're like,
No,
okay,
yeah.
this is me. And I like myself now, probably more than I have in a long time. But I think getting past that bit, I haven't had a period for a year, woo, 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 which I'm really excited about. So I feel like I'm coming out the other end. But what I've learned within that, and I hate the word journey, but what I have learned within that, you know, my life in this period is that you dig deep, you meet some fantastic people, and I have met some fantastic. I feel quite privileged to have met you, you know, Lou, you know, Lou Featherstone. You know, there's lots of people on that journey that are really in it to help other women and support other women. And I think that's the thing, because it can be a really lonely time. And I think we realise, you probably do as well, after COVID particularly, people are even more lonely than. And, you know, I think it's really important that community groups like yourself, where people feel part of something. And I think people come to pools, they might not go out a lot, but, you know, when they come, they really do feel like, actually, I'm so glad I made the effort to come along. So, yeah, it's the 3rd of October. And we hope that you'll be there again as well.
Oh,
So,
well,
and we're looking at new venues, though, because we've actually, well, we have to, I think, because it's sort of outgrown that one. And I think it'd be nice to have it a little bit more all-encompassed rather than all different bits all around, because we obviously got our bars, we've got our, you know, educational stage, and yeah, so it is a good day out. I'm sure you girls would agree.
Oh, I had the most fabulous time. That's why I went, ooh, a little while ago.
Yeah, I know.
Because you know what I absolutely love, right?
I know what you're going to say.
Yeah, we went out to just experience some of the show, and I left you at one of the stalls, didn't I, Marie?
Yes.
And she
You
was
left me
there.
at a stall.
She was there forever.
I need to say why, because my
Yeah.
hair is receding, and I came across a hair stall, and I was there for an
Okay.
hour with him.
I know.
Lovely
he was-
man.
oh, yeah, brilliant. He's followed up with you
Wow.
since, hasn't he?
Yes, and I've now
Yeah.
bought his products, and I've got my fingers crossed to
Great.
make my hair grow back. But anyway,
Yeah.
so that's where I was for about an hour.
Brilliant.
Meanwhile, Yvonne was let loose. Go on.
I was unsupervised. Wildly unsupervised. So I found this for me was just brilliant because it was liberating, and it was the dressing up
Yeah.
bit. There was
Well, that's Lou Featherstone. Yeah.
oh my
Yeah.
God, I absolutely loved that. That was just the
I know.
best idea, because I was on my own, and it can feel, you know, stuff like that can feel a bit weird when you're on.
Mm.
You're on your own. You're just going and dressing up in someone else's clothes.
Yeah, but they weren't just everyday clothes. They
was-
were
yeah,
they
they
were
were
over the top, fancy
fabulous.
sequins,
Yeah.
feathers, and all sorts, weren't they?
Do you know,
You look like My Fair Lady in one of the pictures with the
Yes.
hat on.
With the hat
I
with the
loved
feather.
it. I absolutely loved it. And then the other thing I did was I went upstairs and I lay in the waterbed and held up a big sign that said "fuck off."
Yeah.
And this other woman,
Perfect day out.
this complete stranger, was also sitting on the waterbed, and she went, "Would you like me to take your picture?" And I went, "Yes, please."
But don't you find in the menopause, women can forget to have fun and
Yeah.
lose that
Yeah.
Yeah.
that humour and that sense of being able to
Yeah.
laugh. So for you, I mean, if I hadn't
mean,
been
it's brilliant.
ensconced trying to get my
Yeah.
hair sorted out, I would have been with you dressing up and bouncing on waterbeds. And I think
Yeah.
that's important, isn't it?
And that summarises Paul's really well. Your hair was important to you. You went and got a consultation for that. You wanted to go and have a little bit of fun. Why not?
Mhm.
So that really does sum it up. And we get a lot of girls that come along together, but they might want to have different bits. They might want to go to education, you know, or whatever it might be. So that's really interesting. I'm really pleased about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
We
I
had-
loved it. Yeah. Had a great time.
So our this episode is called "The Woman Empowering Women." Why do you feel that's you? That's you. Why do
I
you?
know. I love
feel-
it.
Why do you feel? Because a lot of women aren't interested in empowering or supporting other women at all. Why are you so passionate about empowering other women?
I think being brought up by my mum, a single mum, I've got 2 sisters. So my mum always worked, you know, I suppose I've always been about a girl's girl, so to speak, as well, which I think is really important. But seeing how difficult it is from the moment a woman starts her periods and to the moment she finishes it and all those bits in between, such a challenge, aren't they, for all of us? We've all got
Mm.
our different stories. And I think with the menopause particularly, what I notice is a lot of people that sort of walk the walk, but they don't always, they talk the talk, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I might have to
Walk
edit
the
that. Yeah, I'm very tired, by the way. I've just got off a plane. They talk the talk, but they don't walk the walk. Now, I can see a lot of that going on, and that doesn't. I'm one of these people that I just block out, what other people are doing around me and focus on what we're doing. And all the team here, they all share the same philosophy that, if we can help, even if it's just one woman, make a difference to her life, that means everything to us. So that's why we continue to do it, and we do make a big change for it. So I think empowering women, empowering yourself is really important. Empowering other people around you, but it's not just women either. And I think that's really important. What I've noticed as well is that this year, when we had on the live stage, we had a fantastic panel of men speaking
Yeah.
about about their support they give during menopause to men that are experiencing it, because most men want to help their partners. They want to make a difference, they really do, but they don't know how to. And it's really hard to reach out when your wife changes completely or your partner changes completely. It's like when a man says to you, back in the day, "Oh, are you due your period?" It's the worst thing you can say to someone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're gonna react. Well, you're living with. It's like living with someone who's got permanent PMT. So when we've been out and about, we've really noticed that we've spoke to lots of men, and they do really want to help. And I think if we'd put that on 4 years ago, when we did Pause, that would have bombed. Women wouldn't have wanted to listen to what men have got to say. But because we've come that way, men want to empower women, and women want to empower men to feel a certain way about midlife. So I think when we're talking about this, you know what it's like. You've both got husbands that have probably watched you go through your journey, and and I will get sometimes my partner, because I just have one night where we don't talk about menopause, and I said it's not my fault, because if we go to a party, people want to talk to me about the menopause. I'll have men come up to me and go, "Can you help her? Is there anything you can do to help her? I don't know how. I don't care how much it costs." It's just it's just that's that jokingly, but that is that sort of attitude. But I think empowering. We've got to empower each other, and I think the younger generation as well. I think it's really important having daughters, to set what midlife should be, and I think we are making a difference. It's not going to be the same for the next generation. Midlife's going to be fun, and which is what it should be. And like you said, it's a shame when people miss out on that, isn't it? All of a sudden, I suppose back in the day, they used to just like literally put your hands in the freezer, let your husband go off and do whatever he wants to do. And that was it for you. You'd bring up the grandchildren, and I think it's not like that now. I think we're refusing to sort of be old before our time, because we've got a lot of living to do, haven't we?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
A lot of women get to midlife, and that's when they start to really blossom and you know.
Yeah. And I think that events like Pause Live, they make us feel more visible.
Seen, yes,
Yeah.
And heard.
Yeah.
and heard,
Yeah.
Especially in the right outfit.
especially with a big pink hat with a feather on.
Honestly, I'm going to marry your friend. When I divorce my husband, I'm going to marry your friend just for her outfits. They were fab.
What's your criteria for selecting who's going to appear and speak at Pause Live, or even just have a stand at Pause Live?
Well, actually, funnily enough, with the stands, it's a little bit more tricky, because there is a lot of crap out there, and there's this, monetized market, which really gets my goat up, because you see so many supplements and things coming onto the market. Now, I remember myself, when I was that desperate, I would have tried anything, because my hair was falling out and all of those things. So I was buying, said crap, spending a lot of money on it. It wasn't working. So we are very careful. We turn business away here if we don't think that it's going to make a difference to, a solution to a symptom, so to speak. But selecting speakers is very difficult, because we're self-funded and it's non-profit. We haven't got the budgets for some of the big celebrities and things like that. So we do really have to think about who we can ask and who's going to make a difference. But I think the lineup this year was fantastic. I think Cherry and Michelle Ford did a really good job at presenting it. Neems from Manson Big
Names.
Pants as well. It was really, it was nice. It was a nice balance. So we're quite happy to use. We don't always want to go for the A-listers. The only reason
No.
we'd want to use the A-listers is to get to as many women as possible. And I think that's the thing. Doctors-wise, we're really lucky because all of our doctors that we use, they support us. They all do it for free of charge. And it's because, again, they are passionate about getting the message out there and empowering women.
Certainly was a fascinating green room to be dipping in and out on, wasn't it?
And there was just a real sense of we're all in it together.
Yeah.
And that was good.
Yeah, and we are. If you look at us as a whole, as an industry, we're trailblazing at the moment. We're going up over the hill for the next generation. I think that's really important. And I want to continue to do that with Pause. We've got some ideas about next year about doing more road shows so that we can actually reach people in different areas, because it's so expensive to get to London. We try and be all inclusive, and I just think, again, at our show, you really do notice that there's a real mix of people there. One of the things that I really didn't want to do is market to white middle class women, because that's how I feel that the menopause has been marketed, and I think that's not fair. All women get menopause, and it should be affordable. It should be inclusive. And at $17.99, you get a lot. But it's not just that. It's the tickets. It's train tickets.
Yeah.
We need Pause North.
Yeah,
That's
you
what we
need
need.
something central.
I think you're
or
right.
North.
Yeah, and maybe Birmingham, maybe something in Manchester. I think it would be good to do
Newcastle.
some other events.
Newcastle.
There has been a show in Edinburgh or Glasgow. I'm not
Glasgow.
sure. Yeah.
Yes,
Scotland does have one. Yeah.
But
that's good.
That's not connected to you, is it?
No.
No. We've only got the one in London, but as I say, I think one of the things that we're looking at doing, and how we do that, I don't know, but the more people we can reach, the better, really. And I think that's it. I think it's just getting that message out there that you're not alone. Majority of women do go through this. There's a 10% that don't. I always, when I meet these 10%, which I do occasionally meet people that haven't had any symptoms, and they feel quite guilty. I think they want to be in our club. They're like, I hate to say it. Well, Angela Ripham, I did an Instagram live with her, and she's 80, so 82, I think she is. What a woman. She's just absolutely amazing. And she said to me, I didn't have any symptoms at all. And she's so sharp. She doesn't even need a note taker on any of her video calls. She just literally, she just writes everything down, and then she does it straight after. And I was like, I just want to come back as Angela Rippon, I think. leg in the air, and ability to be able to remember things.
Yeah. With her legs.
Great legs, zero brain fog.
I know.
It's not fair. Not fair.
But also, also the only thing I was going to say is that I do find sometimes that I feel like some people might be getting fed up with us banging on about the menopause. But I think it's really important, not just the menopause. I think andropause, I think midlife in general, about how we embrace midlife and how we move forward with that. Because the more that we can do to look after ourselves, our own health, the better. And then we won't be the aging population that nobody wants, because we would have we'll give as much as we possibly can to society. And I think we're doing that as a collective. Thanks for being part of it all.
Yeah, and we're bringing women out of what, when my mum went through the menopause, it was called going through the change, and it was all push and, whereas now it is being spoken about. And why shouldn't it be? Because it affects half the world's population.
Yeah.
Should be out there.
And I think you should be doing more dancing in your kitchen. I think you should be doing the things that you love, and you should be saying,
I love your dancing in your kitchen thing.
Even though it's now silent because I can't play music because of copyright.
I know. That's shocking, isn't it? It shouldn't be like that.
It works well as a silent. Who else has got a silent disco going on in their Facebook lives? I think that's fab.
This is true.
You're
You're always having a good time.
Yeah.
I'm either a creative woman or a bit bonkers around the edges.
Probably
both.
What do you mean round?
Yeah, I was going to say
in the core.
Yeah. Slice me open, it would have bonkers going around like that.
Like a
Stick a rock.
Right. Okay. Well, we are coming to the interesting bit now because all the other bits were really boring, Charlotte. I'm sorry.
I know. Sorry, didn't mean to bore you. I get that a lot.
No, we're just joking. We want to talk about your
Oh, good.
cocktail because you've come up with a cocktail entirely on your own without any help from us whatsoever.
So
I'm
Charlotte,
jet lagged.
do share. If you
Share
were a
your
cocktail, what would you be called and what would be the ingredients and why?
It would be called the hot flush, and it would definitely be a margarita,
Right.
and it would definitely be a bit spicy because I like it hot, and and a bit salty around the rim. Now you laugh, not me. There was no laughing from me. These girls there. Rotten.
Well, I think that's the funniest one we've had so far.
Oh, good.
I love it.
Well, thank
Absolutely love
you.
it.
Yeah,
Right,
good.
thank you so much, Charlotte. It has been absolutely brilliant talking to you. We
Yeah.
really enjoyed it.
You truly are an inspirational woman.
Yeah,
You're a
definitely.
powerhouse.
Thank you.
You
Oh,
are a
thank you.
powerhouse.
A tired powerhouse today, but a powerhouse pizza.
Go and get some sleep and put your
I
feet
will.
up.
I will. Thank you so much, ladies. Look forward to seeing you at Paul's Live next time.
Well, we'd love
Brilliant.
to,
Yeah,
yes.
we'd love to go.
Thanks,
next.
Charlotte.
Thanks.
Oh, I've got that officially now, everybody.
We'll look forward to it. Take care.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you to our guest this week, and thanks for listening.
And we look forward to roaring with you again.